Security and education join forces like never before to form Secure Ed. Tonight's episode, Preventing Virus and Malware Outbreaks.
Did you hear about the latest phishing incident?
Oh, I did. They seem to be happening all the time.
Phishing?
It's not what you're thinking. This is phishing with a PH.
Phishing with a PH? Hey, man. This is your lucky day. I got an extra ticket. Well, now you're thinking of Fish the band. Greatest jam band ever.
Sure, but we're talking about fake emails that trick people into opening them, which infects their computer with a virus.
Oh, that. So what's the latest scam?
Something called Salmon of the Month Club.
Who'd be dumb enough to fall for that? Larry.
Hi, I'm Bob, and welcome to Secure Ed training for preventing virus and malware outbreaks. Virus! It is a word that strikes fear into the heart of computer users and IT professionals alike. In these training sessions, we focus a lot on how to avoid viruses. But viruses aren't the only type of malware or malicious software that exists. Today's discussion will explore these pesky pieces of software that give everyone nightmares. We'll also talk about where they come from and how you can avoid them. The topics we will be covering are: what are viruses and malware? Malware origins, antivirus tools and other protective measures. Malware is a broader term for malicious software, and a virus is one type of malware. And what exactly is a computer virus? It's a computer program that infects your computer just like a human or animal virus would infect you or one of your fuzzy friends. And just like real viruses, computer viruses can do all sorts of things to your documents and spreadsheets, your computer programs, and even the computer itself. There are relatively harmless computer viruses that do silly things like make your screen flash or cause a dancing baby to cross the screen. These viruses are typically nothing more than a nuisance and can be dealt with fairly easily. However, there are other computer viruses that can erase files, destroy software, grab personal information, and even render your computer useless. Another type of malware is a worm. The primary difference between a virus and a worm is that the worm will typically be self-propagating. In other words, a computer worm typically doesn't require any type of action on the part of the computer user to spread. While many viruses require the computer user to click on a link, open an attachment, or download infected software, a worm only requires that the computer be vulnerable to attack. And once that computer is infected, the worm immediately begins scanning the rest of the network for other computers that have the same vulnerability, so it can infect them too. Once a computer is infected with a virus or a worm, it may also become infected with another malware known as a Trojan or Trojan horse. Like the name implies, a Trojan typically acts or looks like another piece of software. So much so that oftentimes you never know you've been infected. What's really troubling about Trojans is that they often put loggers or keystroke loggers on the computer, so that everything you type is captured and then sent off to another computer somewhere else where a hacker can read everything. Some Trojans also give a hacker the capability of capturing screenshots from your computer screen, or even scarier, taking over your mouse and keyboard. Now imagine seeing your mouse move around the screen, and you aren't the one doing it. If that ever happens to you, make sure you contact your IT team immediately. And if you ever see a mouse on water skis, contact me immediately, because I want to see that. Malware origins. But where does malware come from? Well, typically viruses are written by computer programmers who want to show their friends that they can make a computer do something it shouldn't. Sounds fun, right? However, there are other programmers who create the viruses and other malware strictly for nefarious reasons. They may want to destroy computers owned by a particular person, company, or even a particular government. They may even be paid by a criminal organization or rogue state governments to create the software. Fortunately, you can protect yourself and your company from viruses and malware pretty easily and without much effort. First, make sure that you have antivirus software installed on your home computer and your computer at work. Now you might say, wait a minute, why my home computer? Well, it's pretty simple. Many people take projects home to complete on their home PC, then take them back to work. If you don't have antivirus software installed on your home computer and it gets infected, there is a good chance that at some point you'll take an infected file back with you to work, or even worse, email it to others only to have their systems become infected too. Keep in mind that while most IT departments install antivirus software on work computers, you always run the risk of there being a new virus that the antivirus software doesn't even know about. Make sure that it stays up to date with the latest virus tests that you run periodic scans on your computer just to be on the safe side. This is one instance where an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Other protective measures. Even with the antivirus software installed, there are other things you can do to protect yourself and your employer from viruses and other additional types of malware. Don't click on links or open attachments from people that you don't know. If you get an email from Gus and the subject line is "The Party," and you don't know anyone named Gus, don't click on it. I know no one wants to miss a party, but this could be an example of phishing. These phishing attacks are usually attempts on the part of a hacker to get you to open an infected attachment or to send you to a website that will attempt to infect your computer. Oh, and if you're not expecting a link or an attachment from someone you know, it's usually a good idea to check with them before you click on it. This may be a phishing attack as well. Many times a virus will infect someone's computer and send out emails to everyone in their contact list. Consider it an electronic sneeze. The virus is trying to propagate, just like a real virus, by spreading to other computers, and then on to more computers from there. Like a real virus, spreading is the only way that it can survive. Kind of creepy, right? And be careful of the websites you visit. While most websites are safe, there are some that have been put up by a hacker to do nothing more than lure you in and infect your computer. While many web browsers now warn you that you are traveling to a dangerous site by changing the color of the website address to red or have a pop-up warning, they may not know about all of them, so be careful. If the site is not well known, you have never visited it, or you got the address from an unknown person, it's best to stay away. While we're on the topic of staying away from things, stay away from sharing USB drives, CDs, and DVDs. This is probably the second most common way that people's computers become infected with viruses and malware. This is especially true of drives and devices that you get at conferences, as well as those that you might find outside your workplace or home. Remember, these devices could very easily have been planted by a hacker who was hoping you or a coworker would pick them up and try to see what was on them. Then once you've attached it to your computer, a small program runs and infects your computer with a virus or something much worse. We've just wrapped up another episode of Secure Ed. Remember, understand what viruses and malware are and how they can hurt you. Use your antivirus tools, and don't engage attachments, links, or removable media from unknown sources. Doing this will help you avoid viruses and malware outbreaks. Now let's see if Larry got out of the trouble that he was in.
You know, I've been thinking about fishing.
That's great.
And there's this fish tribute band called Billy Breathes playing tonight. Larry and I are going. Are you in?
Oh, I wish I could, but no.
I just have to check with my wife. I was just talking to her. Oh. Okay, I probably couldn't have gone anyway. Last chance.
Let's do it. I can't wait. Where?
Well, take my car.